Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Tyler McNabb, and this is my 400EX. So today's video is going to be all about race prep. So today is February 26th, and the first race of the year is March 5th. So I have exactly 1 week. It's currently the Saturday before the race. I've got exactly 1 week to get this thing ready and all ready to go and get to the racetrack. So I'm going to kind of go through and show you what I do kind of on a daily, or not a daily basis, kind of what I do before race just to make sure the quad's good and ready to go, as well as some other things that I don't normally do, right before the race, because I'm going to be adding a couple parts to this thing before race season starts. So the first thing that I'm going to be adding is a new Sunstar sprocket. So I've got same gearing, still going to be a 13 tooth, but I have a brand new chain, and I put the new rear sprocket on not too long ago, so I'm going to go ahead and replace the front. That way everything's new and there's no excessive wear going on the chain from an old sprocket. So I'll have to get the DRW case saver off, but then I'll just loosen the, I don't think I'll have to remove the chain or anything, but I will just go ahead and loosen it up, and then pop. Hopefully I should just be able to pop that sprocket out, pop the new one in, and be good to go. So I'll do that, and then hopefully they aren't here yet, but I ordered a brand new set of GBC Groundbuster 3s. They should be here this week, so hopefully I will get those mounted up as well before the first race of the year, because I am eager to try those out. But other than that, I'm just going to go through. One thing I am going to do is I am going to do a bolt check on this thing just to make sure that no bolts have come loose since I first rode it. And then also I'll go through and I'll show you, check the air filter, lube the chain, kind of just basic stuff. I mean, you don't really have to do much on these things if you keep them, if you keep the maintenance up and stuff. I just put fresh oil in it after the whole rebuild, so that's good. Don't need to do an oil change or anything. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and get that sprocket on real quick, and then after that I'll probably go through and just kind of time lapse me checking some bolts and stuff, and then hopefully the next part of the video after that will be a couple days from now. Tires will be here and I can get those mounted up. So let's get into the video. Okay guys, well, got the new sprocket all bolted up, got the case saver shifter back on, chain tightened. This thing was giving me a little bit of trouble for some reason. It moves really easy forward, but then coming back, it doesn't like to move very well. I think there's just a really tight tolerance on up here, if you can see it. You probably can't see it very well, but just between the rotor right down in here, there's like a really tight tolerance, I think, on where the that little kind of, it's not a grommet, it's just like a little kind of aluminum bushing sits on the swing arm, and then it goes inside the brake stay and it slides back and forth. I think that's kind of part of it. I'm not 100% sure because it used to adjust super easy, but then ever since I've gotten that new rotor guard, it does that. So I think that's what it is. But anyway, got it adjusted, and yeah, so that's ready to go. So then now I'm going to go through and just do a bolt check on this thing. I'm probably going to start at the front of the quad, work my way back, and just pretty much any bolt or nut I can get a wrench or a socket on, I'm going to just, make sure it's tight, and that way, when we go out to race this next week, don't have anything fall off. I think everything's good because, I went out and I did my test ride and there's nothing rattling. Doesn't seem to be anything majorly loose or anything. So I should be good, but it's always good to double check, especially since I'll be racing for, hour and a half, 2 hours, compared to I just rode for like 10, 15 minutes. So, yeah, I'll just go into a time lapse real quick and see if we can get all these bolts checked. So let's do it. Well, I pretty much got this thing, pretty much any bolt I really saw or could have access to, I pretty much got. So, yeah, front end, all the A-arms, shocks, bumper, oil tank, engine mounts that I could get to, Nerf bars, exhaust, airbox, pretty much anything I could, steering stem. Anything I could get a wrench on, I went ahead and tightened. My axle nut was a tad loose, so good thing I checked that. It's good. Really, I didn't find many loose bolts at all, so only a couple where I could really get some turns on. But yeah, I went ahead, torqued the front wheels. I was going to torque the rears, but hopefully in the next part of this video, I'll be taking them off because hopefully my new rear tires will be here. So yeah, hopefully here in just a sec, I'll be putting on new tires, so I'll see you then. Okay guys, it is officially 3 days later from when I last spoke in this video, and I've got some good news. The tires showed up. So I never ended up actually receiving a email that these shipped out from GBC, so I ordered them through my sponsorship program, and my guess is just someone forgot to send out the email. I actually talked to another guy, the Viking. If you follow him on YouTube, I think he also has like a channel, Dirt Obsession. I was talking to him, and he went through the exact same thing. I was talking to him today on Instagram, and he ordered tires the same exact day I did, and his ended up showing up. But neither of us knew if our tires were actually going to show up, so that's good. Let me get these unpackaged, and then we can look at them a little closer. Okay, so we got them unpackaged. And here we have the GBC Ground Buster 3, also known as the GB3. So I've heard really good things about these tires, and I'm really happy to actually try them out. So I feel like they've got good aggressive tread, very soft. So I have heard these things do wear a little bit quicker than like the XC Master, but they say the grip on them is really good, just an all-around good race tire. So I've been itching to try these things for a while, so I'm ready to get them on and hopefully get to try them out in this weekend with the race. So yeah, I won't waste much more time talking about them. I'll probably talk a little bit more about them once I get them mounted up, but I'm just gonna go ahead and try to I'm gonna get the wheels off, and then I'm not sure, I probably won't go through like taking these hypers apart. I've done that in a video already, so I may talk about them a little bit, but probably the most of it's going to be time-lapse, because it is actually the Wednesday before the current day I'm filming this. Is the Wednesday before the race, and you guys are probably going to see this this coming Friday, the Friday right before the race. So I'm trying to get this video done as quick as I can, make sure it's up by Friday. So let's get to putting these things on. First thing I'm going to do is break all these loose with the ratchet, and then I'll just go around with the impact and run them all out. But you will need a 3/8 12 point, because these are special 12 point screws that use them. And then you just want to be careful with these, because they are known to strip out every now and then. So yeah, just be careful when you're doing that stuff with them. Okay guys, well, I got the bead locks out. Unfortunately, I didn't film it because I brought my mom and dad out to help, and it was kind of giving me some trouble getting these out. It's really hard as a one-man job. 2 people is definitely easiest to get these out. The nice thing is you don't need a tire machine with these hyper dual bead locks, because yeah, there's no bead to break. So that is the nice thing. So you can do these at home with a couple I just picked up some cheap tire spoons, and so they're working so far. So now hopefully I think putting them on may be a little bit easier, so I guess we'll find out. So I'm gonna jump into that real quick. Well, putting them on went much smoother. That took me about 5 minutes to put the wheels in, compared to it took me, my mom and my dad working at getting those off. It took us probably 15 minutes or so just to do that, all three of us working. So there's probably an art to it. I've honestly, I think that's the first time, yeah, I think that's the first time I've changed tires on these. So yeah, I've never really done it before. It's not too hard. It's definitely a lot easier than having a tire that has a bead on it, because then you have to deal with breaking the bead and stuff. But overall, not too bad. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put the rings back on, and then be ready to bolt these things up. Pretty much got these where they need to be. I'm going to go ahead and torque these, and then I'm not going to film the next one because that took a while, but I was just trying to get it centered as best I could, because the last thing you want is a tire that's slightly off kilter and then it feels like your axle's bent or something. So just try to get it centered as much as possible, and then I just tried to tighten them in a circular pattern to make sure it kind of get an even compression of the bead. So yeah, I'm going to torque these to, they call for 11 foot-pounds, so I'm going to do that, and then when I come back, I'll probably be putting them back on the quad. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll get them on the quad. Okay guys, well, we got some fresh rubber, so got them all mounted up, got the hypers torqued, got the wheel assembly torqued to the axle, and these things look pretty good. So they are they seem like a pretty good aggressive tire, but I've heard really good things about these, and like I said, a little bit softer, but then people also say that these already do have like a tiny groove in them, but if you take a little bit more material out, people say these are like, at least the reviews and stuff I've read, people say it's one of the best tires they've run. Granted, who knows, maybe everybody says whatever tire they run is the best tire, but I've heard good reviews and I figured I had to try them for myself. So got the fresh rubber mounted up for the race, and overall the 400 is ready to go racing this weekend. So I also said I was going to talk about basically what I do before a race, but then I got to thinking about it, and really, I mean, I really don't do that much. So if it needs it, I'll go ahead and do an oil change, get that changed. Usually I try to change the oil every 2 to 3 races maybe. Back when I was racing youth, everyone talked about, you know, got to change the oil after every race. And so I'd race, and then we'd go to change the oil, and it'd look like brand new oil pouring out of the engine. And it's like, there's no need to dump out perfectly good oil just because people say you need to change your oil after every race. You know, some people, it may be different with like the 450s and stuff, but with the 400, yeah, I usually try to go 2 to 3 races between oil changes. And then, you know, if I've got some ride time in there, maybe a little bit sooner. But overall, that's the first thing I'll do. And then I'll usually get the air box cleaned up and get either a new filter or a good clean filter in there. And then the last thing I do, or I should be doing, because I'm not always real diligent about it, is oiling the chain up. So I'll do that before we load it up here in the next couple days. And then this quad, like I said, ready to go. So I'll probably start it in the next couple days, make sure she's still running good. I'm going to put a battery tender on the charger, or battery tender on the battery, to make sure the battery's all good and ready to go. And then not sure if Dad's racing this weekend or not. I think he might come out and do a little bit of racing. You know, might as well. It's supposed to be a beautiful weekend. Right now, today it was like 68 or something, so it was really nice out. And it's currently March 2nd, so great weather. We've been out in the woods and stuff, messing around. So the ground is really tacking up really nicely. And so if the weather stays like it is and the rain holds off until Sunday, like they're saying, it should be amazing conditions, assuming the property is similar to around here. You know, maybe it's a real low-lying property, then it may be a little muddier. But assuming it's similar to around here, it'll end up being a good weekend. It's supposed to be like 70 degrees they're predicting for Saturday, so hopefully that stays the case, and we have us a good first race of the year. So check back to my race vlog as well as my actual race video that'll be up probably at the beginning of next week, so it'll be the next video after this one. But overall, thanks for coming and watching. I really do appreciate it. And in this video, we kind of just went over the quad, kind of showed you a little bit of what I do before the race. Got a new set of tires mounted up, got a new sprocket on her, and overall did a good bolt check and made sure everything that I could get to was tight. So quad is ready to go and get into the 2022 race season. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.